What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna be looking at my husband sold me to the mafia to pay his debt.
Sonny Daniel Enterprises. Bad things. There's a lot of bad things that they wish and 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 got plans, got plans, got plans, got plans.
Now that sounds crazy. Let's get into this story.
All my friends were jealous of me because my family's pretty rich. Dad, mom, my brother, my sisters and I were living in this big house and we had pretty much everything we wanted. But no one knew that my dad was a complete jerk. He treated us, women, like we were some kind of maids. He always wanted my sister and
I ain't gonna cap, her voice is hella annoying. It's just annoying as hell. All the other ones are hard to find, but this one, the girl's voice is super annoying already.
I to treat him and my brother like masters. He used to call us the worst names. We were supposed to clean the house and do all the chores while they sat and watched TV. I thought my dad was misogynistic, hating women, all women, but that doesn't explain why he got married. I mean, he cheated on my mom with other women all the time. He'd bring them home. He didn't care if my mom even saw it. My brother was even worse. He'd throw food on the ground on purpose and then order me to clean it. One time, he filmed me when I was cleaning and posted the video on Facebook with the caption, "She cleans your house for $7 an hour. Contact me to book her." He sent me to his nasty friends to clean their rooms, and they'd harass me while doing it. And when I told
Bro, there's no way this is real. I don't know, man. I would have believed this, but I don't know, man. This is a little crazy.
Dad about him, Dad patted him on the back and told him that this was the proper way to treat women. Everyone laughed at me.
There's no way. This is a plant. This is a plant to make dudes look bad. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Men ain't like this, man. Not no dudes I know. This a plant, y'all. This ain't real. Can't be.
Me the next day. They were calling me a servant, a peasant, sometimes a dirty Cinderella. Basically, my brother made my school life hell. When I turned 18, I decided to move out because I couldn't take it anymore. I asked my mom to move out with me and take my sisters with her. I told her that she deserved someone better than Dad, but she refused. She said that she had gotten used to the situation, that she doesn't know how to get a job, and so I left her there and I went to live on my own. I found a place to live in. I also found a job as a secretary at a company, but the pay wasn't much, so I decided to go after the manager, Ron. If I convinced him to marry me, then...
Yo, that is one common thing I find in all of these Share My Stories. It's like the girl ends up looking for a rich dude and then gets this rich dude and it never works out. It's like, it's the same cycle you just got in with your father.
I wouldn't have to worry about my life. But there was one problem. Ron had a girlfriend, which meant that I needed to be the side chick. I made it my plan to seduce him. I came to work wearing the most inappropriate clothes. I went to his office when he was alone, telling all kinds of stupid excuses, and it worked.
Ladies, take this as a warning. Females do this. Yeah, be careful with these girls, man. I'm trying to tell you. And fellas, stop cheating. Let's go.
He thought that I loved him. We started dating behind his girlfriend's back.
Damn.
Until she walked on one time and we were kissing in his office. And as he was taking off my bra while kissing my neck, his girlfriend opened the door holding the food that she made for him. She looked shattered. She broke up with him and we got married 3 months later. At first, it was all good. Ron and I got our own home and I had all the money I needed to do whatever I wanted. I thought that I finally got the life I deserved. But then he started to change.
Yo, you know, I think about it, man. I think a lot of Instagram girls that I follow, maybe not all of them that I follow, but some of them, I think this is what they be trying to do for real. Like, I mean, they say they not, but like, you know, some of them is on there looking for just like that gold ticket to like money and freedom of all responsibilities. That's crazy, but true.
Ron used to come back late at night. Sometimes he was gone for days. And when I asked him about it,
and see, that's another thing. I was talking about the Instagram girls, but like, you think about it, fellas, like, and dudes fall for that stuff too. Like, you would get an Instagram girl, ain't got going for it. She's got a lot of followers, she got a big ass, whatever. These football players, basketball players, soccer players, all of these folks get with them and then they marry them and then they good. Like, really all they do is they look good. See, that wouldn't be me, man. I mean, if I'm getting with a girl, she gotta be fine. That's a must, but she gotta have a whole lot more going for it than just being fine. Like, fine ain't the end all be all. And same with girls, like with money. Like, you better find out who you dealing with before you really know who you getting in a house with. with, just because he got money don't mean he for you.
Told me that he was at work, and then his ex-girlfriend showed him the picture that my brother had once posted on Facebook, and he pretty much turned into my dad, treating me badly and cheating on me because I wasn't good enough for him. He also did a little bit of research about my family, and when he saw the pictures of my sisters, he went nuts. He told me that I was the ugliest between them.
Y'all want to rock the hottest merch in the game? Well, go over to SonnyDaniel.com/shop, man, where you can get all the new merch that I drop. I got hoodies, t-shirts, pillows, phone cases coming, lanyards, all kind of stuff, man. So go over to SonnyDaniel.com/shop, get the hottest merch, man. I got it on right now because it's just so fly. Also, if you want my uncensored sin videos, you want access to all my content before it hits YouTube, and some content that never hits YouTube that's strictly exclusive, you gotta go over to the Patreon account, man. It's only $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. That's damn near free. And I got a Discord now, man. Shout out to my homie Freedom. He set up a Discord for me so we can go over there. We can post memes, we can post girls, we can post all kind of stuff. Let's get back into the video.
And then he's only sorry that he met me before he even knew that they existed. So I just had to file for divorce, and it wasn't easy. When I told him that I wanted a divorce, he started laughing in my face. He said, "You think that you can leave me easily? Not so fast, baby."
Yo, you know, that's another thing crazy. I know I keep stopping this one, but like when you think about marriage, this is why marriage is very important. You find out who you want to be with for real, because it's a legal agreement, which is wild because I never really thought of marriage like this, because I always was like, whoever I marry, I know I want to marry that person. I'm not about to jump into it. But like whoever you marry, that's a legal government contract, which means you can't just say, you know, I want to leave, I'm out, I'm gonna bounce. You got to get the other person's permission and have a viable reason why you want to break this contract. And it's like, if the other person don't agree, it's a whole battle, man. That's why, man, that marriage stuff is heavy, man. If you get in that marriage thing, you better know what you doing and who you getting with.
People already know that you're my wife. They won't leave us alone. I looked strangely at him. What do you mean people already know that we're married? Then he said, my people, the people I work with, will come after you in jail. What the hell? Then I found out that Ron was involved with gambling and that he's in debt to a dangerous man called Santiago. If Ron doesn't pay Santiago $3 million by the end of the month, we're gonna be in big trouble. But what happened next was unbelievable. Ron invited Santiago to our house. He was hoping to convince Santiago to give him more time. But when Santiago and I met, we had kind of a spark. Something magical happened and we kept looking at each other the whole night and kind of talking.
The cycle continues. It just continues. I think that I am convinced that human beings just continue the same cycle over and over again. It's like her father was a horrible dude that treated her like garbage. So then she got with a man that was a horrible dude and treated her like garbage. And now she's falling for a dude that's a whole ass drug lord or gamble mafia dude. Just about to treat her like garbage. It's like whatever your parents created for you, it's like you're bound to either break the cycle or just continue the cycle. And most people just continue the cycle. Even somebody like me, I come from a really good tight marriage household, and I want the same thing. It's like you continue the same cycle. But damn, man, this is kind of wild.
And he was hot, gorgeous, with a hot body and a deep voice. I couldn't get my eyes off of him. So when he said to Ron, "If you give me your wife, I'll extend the deadline for another 4 months," I was overjoyed. I wished Ron...
My dude came in here and said, "If you give me your wife..." But the thing is, you give me your wife and you still gotta pay me, but I'll let it go for 4 more months. Like, bruh, nah, bruh, you better give me the debt for this girl if you gonna take it.
Ron would accept. And he didn't disappoint me. He said immediately, "Deal." Santiago and I looked at each other with passion, and I went home with him after Ron and I signed our divorce papers. Our first night was unforgettable.
I hope these are not real, man, because the stupidity level is like at an all-time high. I really hope these aren't real, but something's telling me that they are.
We walked into his house, and it was huge. I was observing everything around, and suddenly I felt someone coming at me from behind. It was Santiago. He started touching me everywhere, and I felt his deep breath against my neck. He took off his shirt, and then he asked me if I gave him the permission to take off mine. I nodded, and he started taking my clothes off.
Santiago asked your permission to start taking off yours? Come on, bro. Don't nobody ask for permission in the heat of the moment. Get the fuck out of here. I think this is a plan, I'm telling you.
Aggressively telling me to relax. I couldn't resist his temptation, and the rest was our private memory. I woke up the next day in his king-sized bed. He said, "So I have one rule."
That ain't no king-size bed, but okay.
My woman always stays in the house. I thought he was joking, so I said, am I a hostage now? He answered, no, think of it more like a nice vacation. But I was a hostage indeed. I wasn't allowed to leave the house alone.
Same situation. I'm telling you, it's just like a cycle.
I always had his guards escorting me. He gave me 2 credit cards to buy whatever I wanted online, so I don't get out so much. He was worse than Ron. Santiago suffocated me. He was jealous all the time and always suspected that I was cheating on him with the bodyguards. We always had major fights about that. And then I got pregnant. When Santiago knew about it, he was thrilled. Like he won the lottery or something, but I was terrified. Will my baby live in such a horrible lifestyle like this? I know I haven't been exactly an angel, but I don't want him to grow up and become a criminal like his dad or...
You don't want your son to grow up to be like the man that you decided to live and marry or be with. Isn't that a red flag? Or am I just tripping? Maybe I'm using too much logic. I don't know.
Know that his mom got herself in this position because she was a gold digger. I started to think of running away more seriously. I needed to escape this toxic environment. But one night, Santiago told me that I was invited to a party. So him and I went, and it was a huge party in a club. I saw Ron there. He was with my sister Rhonda. My mouth dropped. What's going on here? How did these two even meet? I approached her when Ron wasn't around. She was surprised to see me. She's like, oh my god, Kate! We thought we'd never see you after you left the house. And I responded, yeah, I had to move out. But what are you doing with my ex-husband? She gasped, your ex-husband? How is that? And what's up, are you pregnant? So I told her my story, the whole story, and I asked for her help. I thought she might get me to get some money to run away from Santiago's house. And I thought she would sympathize and realize what a jerk Ron was, but none of that happened. She looked into my eyes and said, oh, you're just jealous.
You know, honestly, this is so real because sometimes girls are so mean to each other. It's crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. Everybody can be mean to each other, I guess.
Why would I leave Ron if you're just no longer together? He's a dangerous man. He could get you in trouble, Rhonda. No, you're lying, she shouted. He's nice and he spoils me. I don't want to go back to live with my dad either. I felt desperate. Rhonda is not an option. So I went back to talk to Santiago, but when he saw me, he said angrily, so you're thinking of running away with my baby?
Damn. See? Doing too much.
I was speechless. How did he know? Oh my god, was he spying on me? Santiago and I left the party. He couldn't beat me up because I was 7 months pregnant at that time, but he slapped me in the face until my nose started to bleed. I couldn't scream. I didn't want to scream. Life was just horrible. I spent 2 more months in the house being watched 24/7. I couldn't do anything even if I wanted to because I felt heavy. I gained 60 pounds over my pregnancy, which was a lot, but food became my only way to calm myself. I was depressed most of the time. When I gave birth, I started taking care of my son. I loved every minute of it because I felt that he was the only one who needed me. But Santiago never left me alone. He started commenting on my body and how it changed after giving birth. One time I was taking care of Peter when he said, you're lucky to be the mother of my child. Otherwise I would have gone with other attractive younger women. I kept silent for a moment. Then I said, I don't care. Just go with other women or leave me alone. He was furious because I was so indifferent towards the whole thing. So he said, if you want to leave, then leave. But Peter stays here. I was shocked. I screamed, you don't know how to take care of a baby. Let us leave and I promise you can see him anytime you want. He laughed hysterically. What? Come see him. He's my son. If you want to leave, then leave. But he will live in my house and don't you even dare come here again.
This accent she's using has went from like Italian to Spanish to Russian. What is Santiago? You feel me?
I stood there thinking for a moment, looking at Peter. I could never leave him for such a cruel father like that. But then I looked at Santiago. He was disgusting to make me choose between my freedom and my son. But when I thought of living my years to come with this disgusting man, I felt like puking. So I said coldly, here, you can take him. Santiago looked at me shockingly. He never thought that I could give up our baby away. I struggled not to cry before him. I didn't want him to enjoy my pain, so I said, the thought of living with you some more time makes me sick. I want my freedom. Then I put Peter on the bed and started packing my things. My heart was aching, but I just needed to leave. And then I heard him scream, leave everything here. He continued, I bought you everything, so leave it all here and go. What a jerk. I turned around and faced him and said, fine, as you wish. And then he threatened me. If you ever come near the house or Peter again, I'll make your life a living hell. school. And then I left the house wearing my PJs, looking horrible, my hair tied up. I was practically homeless. What have I done? I slept that night on a bench near the beach, but it was freezing. So cold that I thought of going back to Santiago asking for forgiveness, but I didn't. The next day I started looking for a job.
You know, honestly, if none of these do anything else for y'all, at least they bring some light to how bad decisions can lead to really, really bad situations, which is life, man. You know what I'm saying? You make dumb decisions and dumb outcomes happen. And she continued to make dumb decisions. But her father started these dumb decisions. So it's like, you got to realize what your actions are causing on your children. Then your children are going to make dumb decisions based on the actions that you did. So that's what I'm saying. It's a cycle, y'all. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's crazy.
And I was lucky to find one as a cleaner, like a maid at a private school. They offered me a place to sleep and I could eat from the cafeteria there. I started saving my salary so I could move out of the boarding school. I also worked at a coffee shop at night. It was 24/7. That way I could raise more money. But 3 years later, I was shocked to see Santiago dropping Peter to the kindergarten near the boarding school that I worked at. My son was 6 feet away and I couldn't go say hi. Every day I wait for them at the same time to see him. Sometimes I even enter the kindergarten and watch him from a distance. I don't know if I'll ever have the courage to tell him I'm his mom.
Wow. Like I said, man, decisions and actions are like cycles. I love y'all. Peace.